What's going on, everybody? Adam here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Mad-Ramps pivoting ramp system for you guys' ATV or UTV. So if you guys got a truck and you usually take quite a bit of stuff with you, whether you just have a tonneau cover or a toolbox, this is going to be a great way to free up some bed space and still be able to haul around your toys. So initially I was actually kind of sketched out and I didn't really trust this thing just because it kind of looks like it's just hanging off the back of the truck, which it really is. Honestly, after using this product though, it put my mind at ease, and it should put your guys' mind at ease too. I would definitely recommend it. So what we're going to go over is some basic features, some situations that you guys may be using them in, and of course show you how they work. So let's just go ahead and get going. If you guys just purchased an ATV or UTV, odds are you're probably tired of spending money. This is going to be an extremely cost-effective way to haul your new toy around. No need to buy a trailer and go through the hassle of setting it up and getting it licensed. No one likes the DMV. Having to deal with ramps is a hassle. The Mad-Ramps really aren't. It makes loading super quick and easy, so you will be on the road faster, and also you'll be able to hit the trails quicker too. I always have a hard time finding a good place to store my ramps once I'm done loading up. These ramps are so much easier to put into the driving position, and they aren't really rattling around in my bed. We also don't have to worry about these ramps sliding out while loading up, so that'll give you guys peace of mind. For you off-roaders out there, there is a setting that will increase the ground clearance, which will allow you to bring your ATV or UTV where most trailers couldn't go. When you guys are on the highway traveling, there is a on-road setting that has less clearance, but that's going to add a little bit less length to your guys' truck. If you have a short bed, truck, tonneau cover, toolbox, or anything that really limits the capacity of your bed, now you can keep your truck as it is and still be able to haul your ATV or UTV around. All you really need is a 2-inch hitch and a truck to be able to load up whatever you're hauling around. These ramps are just as adjustable as normal ramps, and they slide along that pivot bar, so you guys don't have to worry about it not fitting whatever kind of wheelbase machine that you guys are loading up. Or if you guys simply just would like to have more room in your bed for more cargo, this is going to be a great fit for you. If you guys have a lot of friends to go along with, they got a lot of gear, and you have every seat full, this is going to hopefully have enough room in the bed to be able to store all their stuff, so you guys can pack your truck full and get on the road. What really sets this ramp apart from all the other ramps, obviously, is it stays attached, and it's going to allow you to hang off your ATV or UTV off the back of your truck, which is going to be great for allowing all that room in the bed of your truck. These ramps would definitely beat any other ramp by far when it comes to quickness, and honestly they're just as functional, if not more. There's a lot less things associated with these ramps. You don't have to strap them to your hitch to make sure they won't slide out. Everything is just ready to go. You back off your ATV or UTV, and the ramps are pretty much set up for you to load them up whenever you guys are done driving. There's no need for a flag on these ramps because we do have taillights on the back, so we're going to have running lights, right blinker, left blinker, and of course our brake lights, which is going to be great for driving at night, and it's going to give you guys peace of mind knowing that everybody behind you can see your rig. And regardless of what state you guys are in, this is DOT approved in all 50 states, so you guys don't have to worry about driving illegally. If you guys are just used to loading up your ATV in the back of your truck anyway, you usually have the back wheels on the tailgate. That is honestly kind of putting a lot of stress on it. This way it's going to take all that stress off the tailgate and just on your hitch, and this is going to be a lot better for your truck. First things first, of course, is unstrap your guys' ATV or UTV. Simple stuff. What I actually ended up doing is just using the hooks on the inside of the bed, wrap it around the wheels, and then hook it up onto our little hitch here, which worked out pretty nicely just because, one, we can adjust it up and down, and it's kind of pulling the ATV towards the cab of the truck, And also with these tires, they have a little bit of give on them, so if it does end up shifting around, I think it'll be fine. And two, you can kind of move this strap up and it'll kind of pull more down on the tire, but it's all just up to you guys. But honestly, as of right now, this is a pretty solid rig. It wasn't really moving anywhere. And this is about 730 pounds, the Sportsman here. But these ramps are going to be able to pretty much handle anything up to about 1,400 pounds. So for your Rangers and stuff like that, I don't think you guys will have any issues. All right, I got one more up front. Go ahead and undo that. Luckily, I can actually stand in front of the four-wheeler right now because I have so much room. I also can just take this, fold it up, got all my tools and stuff in here, ratchet straps, all the big toe straps if we get stuck. So that's kind of cool. Everything's all nice and tidy. And again, I'm just using little hooks on the inside of the bed, and I just linked it through the little toe strap down here. Done deal. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take the ramps out. To do that, we just have this little red lever, spring loaded. What we can do, I ended up just pulling it out and kind of just tossing it to the side because the hole is down here. I kind of know where it's at because we do get kind of a screechy noise too sometimes after you guys use these. But just pull it out, snaps into place, and do the same for this side. And these were already adjusted width-wise, so obviously we don't really have to adjust them like you have to adjust normal ramps when you're unloading. The wheels are already sitting on there and they're already adjusted, so that's awesome. That's pretty much it. Let's start this puppy up. It's gonna be a good day. Pivots down real nice. Done deal. Super quick, super easy, and they're literally just sitting there ready for me to load up. So all in all, I would definitely say that's a little bit quicker than normal, and now, you know, they're pretty much ready to load up. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually drive around and load up real quick and show you guys how easy that is too. Just that easy. I know some of you guys are probably wondering and probably thinking that this kind of looks sketchy. Honestly, it's not. It's really super solid, and I feel super, super confident up on the back there. I promise. So we're just gonna go ahead and act as if we're loading this thing up for the first time. You guys just assembled it, and we're gonna get everything adjusted right. So we'll also go over some features. First feature is we got aluminum ramps, so you guys don't have to worry about it rusting away over time. Also, the bungs right here, they are etched quite nicely, so this is gonna help you guys get the grip. They're not too spread out, they're not too close together. So I definitely didn't have any issues sliding just now. But even if it's a little rainy or something like that, we saw a lot of you guys actually using these that are just covered in mud. And honestly, I think that would be a little bit more slippery than just water, and that just worked just fine. Up here, we are gonna have a steel construction, and that's what's gonna help us get that 1,400 pound capacity with these. And this right here is the pivot bar, and obviously it gets its name because this is the bar that allows it to pivot. The nice thing about it is you're not going to get that screeching noise over time just because we have this nice sleeve here. It isn't going to make that noise, which is something I kind of like. So first thing you want to do is kind of just line up your machine. And then kind of just eye it out. See what's going on there. Get it nice and lined up. Really easy to move these things too. The sleeve down here makes it really nice. Well, that's pretty much it. These ramps are going to be able to accommodate for a lot of those different wheelbases that you guys have, just like normal ramps, because, you know, normal ramps aren't connected and you can put them pretty much wherever. With this, same deal. I'm going to go ahead and measure from center to center, and I have these pushed out all the way to the edge. So from the center of one ramp to the center of the other, it's going to be about 44 inches when they're completely spread out. But when I pull them all the way in, like that, completely in from center to center, it's going to be about 19.5 inches. And in regards to the ramps themselves, the steel are going to be a little bit wider, but not much at all, really. So the steel ramp portion that pivots is going to be about 15 inches in width and about 14.5 inches in width for the aluminum ramps here. So plenty of room for even those more beefy tires. So obviously with any hitch mounted accessory, we are going to add a little bit of length to the back of our vehicle. So in the on-road mode, so that's when they're going to be pretty much the closest to the ramp, we're going to have a length of, from the bumper to the very farthest point, about 46 inches. But then this one back here, I have it in the off-road mode, so it's a little bit farther back. And that's going to be about 58.5 inches, but obviously that's going to be a lot less than what a trailer would add to the back of your vehicle. So definitely wins on that one. And another thing I'm going to test out, just because, I'm going to go ahead and take the brake off. I have nothing strapping it down, and I'm also going to go ahead and put it into neutral. So this is literally, there's nothing holding this thing on, nothing's in gear. These wheels are going to want to turn and they're going to let it. So as you guys can see, like I could probably take this guy off if I really wanted to, but it's going to take a lot of force. But then if we put just the handbrake on, that pretty much locks it down, and I'm not going to be able to really pull that thing off. And that's still in neutral, so let's try it, no brake, and we'll put it in park, which I highly recommend. You guys should not be having these things in the back of your truck in neutral. That's just me. But just in park alone, you get a little bit of roll, but obviously that back axle is nice and locked up. So if you guys are kind of skeptical about this, hopefully that kind of shows you. Without any straps and just putting it in park with no brakes on at all, it's not really going anywhere. And of course, we do want you guys to check and make sure that your bed is going to be wide enough for whatever equipment you guys are loading up. So for you Ford Ranger guys, the Chevy Colorado guys, or any type of mid-sized truck, be sure to check that out. One thing we need to adjust for you guys' tailgate, it's going to be different with any truck, is right here. We want about 4 to 6 inches between our ramps and the tailgate, and to adjust that, all we got to do is go down to the pivot bar and the bracket that puts it on the main portion of the ramps. We'll just loosen this bolt here, adjust it to where we need it, and then torque it down to the specs in our instructions. As you guys can see, the lights are plenty bright even in the day. We got a running light, we got our brake lights, and our blinkers too. So it's going to be plenty visible. There's a lot of light down there, so hopefully no one's going to hit you. They'll definitely be able to see you, but who knows. We have all the wiring that we need and it comes in a nice little wire loom, so it is going to put up with all the rain and stuff that you guys see whenever you guys are driving down the road. And all you really need is a 4-pole connector. If you have only a 7-pole, we do have a converter here at eTrailer if you guys need that. Everything besides the ramps is going to be steel, and it has a nice powder coated finish, so it's going to give it a good look, and also it's going to resist against rust and corrosion over time. But it is going to protect itself too. Right here where the ramps fold down at, we do have a very strong plastic piece right here, and that's just going to prevent it from scratching, and then once it scratches the powder coat off, it's going to rust. Luckily they put that there, so we're not going to have that issue. Mad-Ramps also thought about your guys' truck as well. So right here is going to be our bumper bar. This is going to be great for when we are putting these ramps away. It's going to go underneath that bumper bar there, and it's just going to prevent anything from happening to your tailgate or your bottom bumper there. As you guys can see, even when putting weight on it, it's not really going to do anything to the bumper. It's going to hit that bumper bar, and you guys don't have to worry about it messing anything up on your guys' truck. As you guys can see, we have a truck that's not stock. We got some pretty wheels and tires, and that are a little bit bigger than the OEM ones that it came with. And also it is lifted. Looks really good. So for you guys with those lifted trucks, you don't really have to worry about not being able to load these up. The ramps are plenty long, it's not too aggressively steep, and we measured, it's about 88.5 inches long, which I think is honestly plenty. We have a lot of different ramps that aren't even that length, and they work just fine. So we have plenty of ramp length, so it's going to be able to get into your truck really easily, even if it's a little bit more lifted than the one you see here. One thing I really would add, if you guys don't already have it, is a little bit of suspension work on the back end. It needs a little bit of help, just because the farther we get back from the axle when we're loading up, the more strain we're going to be putting on the suspension. So if you guys don't already have bags or just any support of any sort, we have a lot of stuff here at eTrailer. Go ahead and put your vehicle into the fit guide and see what kind of stuff we have to offer. But hopefully you guys can see it here. I'm going to load up, and you'll see the back suspension kind of sag a little bit, and that kind of brings the front end up, which isn't really going to be good for our steering capabilities. So I just want to show you. It's not really a big deal. I didn't really notice any issues with it, but it's something to take into account. You can kind of see it sag a little bit, and this truck actually does have beefed up suspension. Not a whole lot, but enough to make it not OEM. But as you guys can see, it sags a little bit. You can't really tell a whole lot because it's on the hill, but just basically see the difference between wheel wells here and the wheel wells up there. That front end is facing a little higher than it should. So just be mindful of that. I definitely recommend grabbing some sort of suspension. Now we're going to go ahead and show you guys how much sag we're really getting on our back suspension and how much we're really raising up in the front. In the front, from the top of the tire to the start of the wheel well here is about 9 inches. And back here, from the top of the tire to the start of our wheel well is about 6 inches. So I'm going to pull this off real quick, and we're going to see exactly how much it's going to be sagging. So now we're at about 8, and honestly the front is pretty much at the same spot, so it really isn't raising the front up a whole lot, maybe a 1/4 of an inch, but definitely the back suspension does sag down quite a bit, and it's going to sag down a lot more if you guys have a Ranger. The Polaris that we have here is about 730 pounds. Ranger's going to be a little bit heavier, so be mindful of that. Well, everyone, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and got a lot of information out of it, but if you get anything from the video, please just understand that this is actually a great way to haul your stuff around. It solves a lot of problems, and I honestly thought that it was kind of sketchy when I saw it at first. They told me I was going to do the video on these ramps, and I'm just like, I don't necessarily know if I'd use those. But after using them, trust me when I say this, I would definitely recommend them to you guys, all my friends, and I'm going to continue to use them. So if you guys had any skepticism in the beginning of the video, please don't. It's definitely Adam approved. So other than that, that's pretty much all there really is to the Mad-Ramps pivoting ramp system for your ATV or UTV. And I'm Adam with eTrailer. See you guys.